Bill again. Anyway, so today I'm going to go out on a limb and make pizza. I'm going to show you how to make pizza. I'm going to try to show you the foolproof, easiest way. It is a little more complicated, so you do have to pay attention. Otherwise, you might as well call Domino's or get it frozen from the grocery store. But the most important thing you got to start with is the yeast. I don't even know if there are any other brands of yeast on the market, so I'm not going to go there. But I started with some water, and from working with yeast for years, I will tell you that the sweet spot is you need it between 110 and 115 degrees. No higher, no lower. And I'm sitting right at 115. Sometimes you have to put it in the refrigerator. Now when you're using glass like this, sometimes the glass holds some of the heat, so you might have to throw it in the fridge. Instant read thermometers are necessary evil, but you can buy them so cheap nowadays. Yeah, we're good. I have one that I've had forever. It's so old that I can't even read through the glass anymore, if it really is glass. So what makes the yeast grow? Well, yeast needs sugar. So I'm going to take my bucket of sugar, and I need a teaspoon of sugar. Sugars get low. It's getting hard to scoop out. Doesn't have to be exact. Just want to get it in there. Boom, boom. Out of the way. And what I usually stir it with is a fork. I don't need anything fancy. Don't need to whisk it or anything. This is rapid rise instant yeast. I know back in the day we used to use yeast cakes, but we don't need to do that any longer. And we do want to make sure we get most of it in there. Get it right in there. Now take my little fork. Just kind of get it around. We want to make sure that sugar's dissolved. Beautiful. Alright, now I'm going to set it aside. Rinse my fork, which I'll need later. And I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. I need to get it nice and foamy. Alright, so while that's occurring, let's talk about some other parts. It took me a long time to really figure out what I was doing, but I can tell you that this is one of my secrets. It's a pizza stone. This one's well used, well discolored. I really struggled in the beginning how to make it work right, and one of the things I've learned, and as I've been experimenting even more recently with different ingredients and etc., is if it gets dirty, the key to it is make a thick paste with baking soda. And I showed this before. This is a mushroom brush, but it's pretty tough bristles. You just find the spots and scrub them up, wipe them with a paper towel, and then get a damp paper towel. Let it dry completely. Never clean it when it's hot, and never heat it when it's wet. So this is a thing of beauty. It looks horrible, but it works just fine. When you preheat your oven, which is going to be 450 degrees. Make sure you do it long enough that your pizza stone, blah blah blah, pizza stone gets hot enough, okay? And you'll know because when you put it on, it'll really start to, you'll almost hear it sear. Get that out of the way. Second, which we're going to also talk about later, is you need some kind of a peel. This actually I got on sale. It's bamboo. It was inexpensive and it works fine. Metal ones are thin, maybe a little bit easier to work, but I just, something about this I liked. Maybe it was the price. I've had it since pre-Amazon days. And honestly, it does the job, and I'm going to show you how that all comes together. But for right now, I'm still counting down time left on my yeast. So let's take a break, and we'll come back and we'll make a pizza. Alright, so the 10 minutes is up. A beautiful yeast. It's got a beautiful foam head on it. So I'm just going to set aside for a minute. We got to get the rest of these ingredients. So make sure you use pizza flour, double O pizza flour, doesn't matter what brand. I do like King Arthur's. And when you're measuring something, it doesn't have to be exact, but these are my portions. So I've got my cup here, and I want basically 3 cups. Well, I'm never going to get it full to the brim, so I don't know what that really comes out to, but I just want you to see how, and I get it pretty close. And the paper plate catches anything that falls aside. So that's 1. Okay. I was at Target the other day, and they had a clearance on this because it was expiring at the end of the month, so I'm like, okay, I'll just make a couple pizzas. It was half price. Can't complain. So I got 2, I'm going to call that 2. And we need the 3rd. I'm going to warn you right now that you can't hear what I'm saying when the mixer's going. And I'm going to call it 3. And there's just a little bit on here I'm going to knock in. Gets all over. You can tell people that bake because their mixers always got flour all over them. Alright. Goes here. Now, I need a teaspoon of salt. It doesn't have to be real exact, but not crazy. And so I'm going to take my fork. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Give a little stir. Scrape out all the goody stuff. I love the smell of yeast. Smells like a brewery in here. Which isn't true because beer is made from champagne yeast, but that's another story. Alright, so olive oil is the secret. Once again, this is one of those BOGO things. I want 2 tablespoons. Well, you know, if you pour in a tablespoon, you're never going to get the whole thing out. And to be perfectly honest, I use 2 pretty heavy tablespoons because I like it. So I'm going to go 1, 2, So that might be closer to 3 tablespoons if you really do want to measure. All right, I'm going to start real nice and easy. So as soon as you start to see the flour gathering, because you know we don't want to start mixing, turning the mixer up when there's still loose flour in here, or you're going to have a cloud over your head. Certainly you can start thinking about turning up, but we just want to get it incorporated first. I'd made sure that the dough has collected everything off the sides, and when I stop it and restart it, you're going to see that it starts sticking to the bottom again. So what I do now is I'm going to take just a little bit of a scoop, and you can, if you're afraid you're going to get too much in there, you can just do it slowly. So it feels like I've got a pretty good, yeah, it really didn't stick. It's a little sticky, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit more. Just get around the outsides. I know that'll be enough. So let me just get this incorporated and I'll be right back. Okay, this looks pretty darn good to me. Let's get it out of here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. So, what do I need to do with this? I'm going to take a bowl, plenty big. Now this is something I learned the hard way, is I use a cooking spray with olive oil because you want olive oil in it. And don't go crazy, you just want enough so it doesn't, it's going to stick a little bit anyways. We just kind of want to do around the sides, a little spot in the bottom. And then I kind of look at it, yep, looks good. Because as the yeast grows, it's going to push up the sides. So now, I've got this nice little ball. It's not really sticking to my hand, it does feel a little bit, wet still, but that's okay. Now here's one of my secrets. I just want to keep it out of the breeze, especially because I got the air conditioner on. Cover it, let it rest for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we can take it out and make a pizza. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. Alright, so I've got my pizza stone in there. I really heated it up because last time I had a spill on it, so I had to clean it. So I want to make sure it's all good. The dough sat on the counter, 30 minutes covered. Then I covered it in plastic and threw it in the refrigerator just to chill it down. It kind of stops the yeast activity or slows it down. And you can do it from anywhere from an hour to overnight. Some pizza places tell me overnight's better. But anyway, so let's see what we can do to make this pizza. Now, I've tried using regular all-purpose flour to save my expensive flour, and it didn't seem to work out real well. I don't know if that was just the day, but I just want to get a little flour on this cutting board. It looks like I put a little too much. I make a big pile. Just kind of push it around. Don't want to get too crazy. You know, if you're, you want to put in perspective, so like you waste 2 cents worth of flour. I guess my brain sometimes gets a little carried away. Alright, move that aside. So, nothing like a little flour on the fingers, right? So now the flour is nice and big. I'm going to take it and I want to put it so the wet side down, right? And now we're just going to start spinning and working. And sometimes you get a little bit of oil on the edge. So that's why I want to make sure we're getting a good coating of flour. I'm just spinning. If you refrigerate the pizza, some people say get it out and get it back to room temperature. I don't. I think working when it's cool keeps it from being real fussy. It kind of tends to stay where you put it. And if it starts to get too warm, you'll see that it starts to recoil back. So basically you're working from the center, pushing out. We're not a pizzeria. The pizza dough doesn't have to look perfect, okay? And just about where I want it to be. Mamma mia. So I'm just working it. And if you get too crazy, you're going to tear it, and then it's like, oh no, what do I do? And yeah, sometimes that doesn't work so well. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you some beginner advice if you've never really done this before, is limit your toppings. Of course, if you're from New York, you say you only put one topping on your pizza besides cheese and sauce, and that would hold true in this case. Don't like my little edge right there, but I'm not going to get too fussy with it. Not a pizzeria. This is real. I'm making it in front of you. Alright. So what do I do next? I need some sauce, right? My hands are. And I have some shredded mozzarella cheese. And for this, I slice a little onion. I'm going to show you why, because something flat is a whole lot easier to deal with than things that are round and roll around. Alright. So I'm going to take my peel and I just want to make sure that we get it over here. I'm going to move this out of the way. And before I go anywhere, just want to make sure it's really nice and loose on the board. And just do a little repair work, because sometimes when you move it. So we're going to take some of this pizza sauce. Pizza sauce has to be thicker than spaghetti sauce, so if you're making your own, just make sauce and add a little extra tomato paste, or cook it down a little more. I'm trying to work a little quick because I don't want to fail. I don't want this to have time to really get stuck on my peel. Mamma mia, that looks good. All right. So, what I find, I like to put a little cheese on here if I can open it. Try not to get it on just the crust. Or and I find for you're first trying to do this, don't get too fussy because the clock is ticking, and if you got too much cheese on here, it's really going to be hard for it to cook. So I'm going to go kind of loose. Now watch what I do. Just want to make sure. See, it's nice and loose on my peel. So now I'm going to take some onion. You could do pepperoni. I'm not a big fan. You know, I like vegetable pizza, but because the pepperoni can be kind of greasy. Black olives, mushrooms. If you use mushrooms, use fresh ones and cook the heck out of them. Fresh basil sometimes I'll put on, and if you do, put it on just over the sauce so it's hidden under all the other ingredients. Okay. Now, the magic of video. I'm going to move this over next to the stove so you can see what I do. I'll be back in 13 seconds. Okay, so here's the secret. This is a double oven. My pizza stone won't fit in the top one, so I've got to go real low. Well, I found it's really hard to work this low with my peel. So I quickly grab my stone, make sure you have gloves on because it is 450 degrees. Put the heat in. Actually, I'm going to keep a glove on just so I don't accidentally touch something. And now you can see, got some good. Voila! See how easy that was? Now without talking, I'm going to get it in the oven. And carry it flat because it'll slide right off. I'm going to set the timer for 12 minutes to check it. Just a quick peek, not like look at it. I don't turn it on my stone like they do in a pizza shop because I don't have just all the heat coming from the back like a pizza shop does. 12 minutes to look at it. My goal is probably 15, 16 minutes. So let's start with 12. And I can smell it already. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm all gloved up and ready. So I'm going to do it the same way in reverse, just to show you. This is just as easy. Turn off the oven first, as I know it's done. Take my pizza peel, mamma mia. Do not touch that stone. All right, I take it right over here. So you don't have to wash your peel. It gets a little sweat on it from the dough, but just wipe it off, and if there's any flour. Now if you had made a mess on it, you probably have to wash it, but try not to get it too wet if it's wood. I I know a couple times I've messed up. But what do we got here? And you can see it's already starting to steam the cutting board. So I got myself just like a nice bread crust, right? I got the cheese all nice and chewy gooey, and you just want to pick it up and bite into it, right? But remember, you want to let things start to kind of settle in there first. And I will tell you, a decent pizza cutter, pizza knife, whatever you want to call it, is well worth it. This was a cheap one I got. It's got a nice wheel to it. It's solid. It's not all wobbly. It is very sharp. I've actually cut myself on this before, not thinking. And we just want to get crunch. Make our way across. It's really hot. And with these pizzas, what I do is I pre-cut them, and so that they can be lunches, or it is going to be lunch for me here in a minute. And then, now I've cut it in half. The trick I learned is to go backwards. So you're hitting the crust last, and kind of get on the crust. Like I said, if you're eating these at home, they don't have to be pretty. Suckers are hot. But I just want you to see that we got a really nice chewy crust to it. And a lot of that is attributed to the fact that I do go a little heavy on the olive oil. But like I said, this makes a really good crunch. It's really a perfect dough. Oh, beautiful. Oh, you're still here watching me? Oh, well, let me tell you. So, I used to make pizza a lot and never had any good consistency. So I really decided this was a challenge to me. It's not hard. Don't get disappointed. And if you don't want to buy a pizza stone, which once again they are relatively cheap now, and they last forever, pizza pan does work. But remember what you want to do. You want to get the kind of the shape of it first, then get it into your pizza pan, because you still need a little flour under there to keep it from sticking. I do have pizza pans that I do have used or used to use quite a bit, kind of as a cheat thing for me. And now that I've really kind of gotten used to my pizza stone, like I said, you know, I've had some failures, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it's just like baking cakes, you know. First one you might not want to show your friends, but it tastes good. Then as you get more accomplished, you'll find it's really easy. Anyway, appreciate you watching, and hope you take something away, learn something. Any advice I always appreciate. And of course, if you're not used to my channel, please subscribe. Watch often, get all your friends and family to watch and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Have a great day.